Gil Martin here, and welcome everybody to today's episode of the Daily Packers Post, where we bring you in-depth daily coverage of your Green Bay Packers. Hit the like button and subscribe. We have new episodes dropping every day, Monday through Friday, so you never miss an episode. Today, we focus on Lukas Van Ness, the former first-round pick out of Iowa. And when the Packers drafted Van Ness back in 2023 with the 13th overall pick, they knew he was a bit of a project, that he had all the physical tools imaginable, but needed to work on his technique, needed to get more experience. And here's a guy who, even in college, did not start a single game at Iowa. Yet, because of his athleticism and size, his nickname was Hercules. So, look, they knew he was a project when they picked him. And so far in 2 seasons, it's been a mixed bag. On the one hand, he's played all 17 games in both of his first 2 seasons, has yet to start a game in the NFL, but he has been a part of the edge rush rotation in his rookie year at outside linebacker when the Packers switched over to a 4-3 last year under Jeff Hafley. He moved to defensive end. And look, he basically had 4 sacks and 8 tackles for loss as a rookie, while playing 33% of the Packers team defensive snaps. And then last year, those numbers went down a little bit. Only 3 sacks, 33 tackles. So, one more tackle than his rookie year, but only 6 tackles for loss. And the quarterback hits fell from 10 to 6. Now, his percentage of plays went up from 33% to 39%, but in 2 seasons, Van Ness has yet to start a game. In fact, even when the Packers traded Preston Smith mid-season last year, it wasn't Van Ness who stepped in as the starter, but Kingsley Enagbare, who started opposite Rashawn Gary. So it'll be interesting to see. Now, we did learn at OTAs that Van Ness played, I believe it was the first 11 games of the season with a broken thumb. Now, the result of that, he couldn't use one of his hands properly or in a normal fashion, and hand work is critical if you're trying to beat offensive linemen, disengage from blocks, and get pressure on the quarterback. And it also made him only able to line up on one side of the field, so that could have kept him off the field in certain situations as well. It was a disappointing second season. The injury probably had something to do with that. And now the critical year 3 coming up. And the good news is Van Ness looked good at OTAs. Matt LaFleur saw a difference in his confidence level. And, he's certainly in shape, and the thumb, thankfully, is healthy, and he's working again at full capacity. And another piece of good news, for what it's worth, at OTAs, Van Ness lined up with the first string defense, which means he should at least have the inside track at winning one of the starting jobs. It's his to lose, but he still has to win the battle in training camp and in the preseason to earn that starting spot. Now, one other thing that the coaching staff talked about at OTAs was the possibility that Van Ness could line up at defensive tackle in obvious passing situations in the coming season. And this is a good idea for a couple of reasons. First of all, you get more of your talented and elite pass rushers on the field at the same time. You could put Kenny Clark, for example, Rashawn Gary, maybe Brenton Cox, Kingsley Enagbare, and Van Ness all on the field at the same time to rush the passer. You then have some linebackers like Edgerrin Cooper or Quay Walker who could pressure the passer in blitzes, and it gives Jeff Hafley more options. And keep in mind that Van Ness did play defensive tackle at times in college, So it's not a completely new position for him. And it would give him an opportunity to utilize different techniques and skills that he has been developing and, maybe have a different kind of matchup against centers and guards rather than against offensive tackles. So if it benefits him and it starts to work, that would be really, really good. So now Van Ness is entering year 3 of his NFL career. That's a critical year in most NFL players' careers. If you don't start to show that you can, win a starting job and be a quality player after year 3, you start to get that B word being mentioned. And that B word, of course, is bust. Hopefully, Van Ness is healthy and is ready to take that third year jump. And that is one way that the Packers could get more pressure from their front four, which is something Jeff Hafley wanted to do. But Van Ness has to step up. And hopefully the investment that the Packers have made in Van Ness starts to pay dividends in 2025. Don't forget to check out our website at thepackerspost.com, where we have in-depth articles about the Packers Monday through Saturday. Hit the like button and subscribe here on YouTube so you never miss an episode of the Daily Packers Post. I'm Gil Martin. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, everyone. And of course, go Pack Go.